Conservative commentator Benny Johnson's speech on memes, his favorite subject, at a Turning Point USA event at the University of Iowa earlier this week, it went sour when someone in the audience was apparently so triggered by a video featuring Vice President Kamala Harris.
Oh my God, I love it!
Johnson later confirmed that, yes, this is the meme that caused the reaction.
Look at my face! Oh my God, I love it!
It's not the most hilarious or amusing meme to me. Benny Johnson kind of fashions himself as like the meme guy. So the person was arrested. Very important to note. Who and should have been, I would argue. Maybe you feel differently. Probably, I don't know. But he kicked over the
projector.
The meme display projector.
Yeah. Look, obviously, I don't think that's necessarily the best way to go about expressing your frustration with something. But let's talk about the meme. The meme implies that Kamala Harris, who very famously, to be honest, to be clear, told immigrants, do not come, was sent to the border to give that explicit message, has been frankly no friend of progressive immigration policies from a progressive point of view, greeting enthusiastically a bus in front of which a mariachi singer has been placed, implying that the migrant wave is coming from Mexico, I presume, which of course is pretty reductive when we look at the actual origins of all of the immigrants that have been coming off across the country. So I would argue that it's not a leap to characterize a meme that flattens the nation of origin of immigrants into a Mexican stereotype is, dare you say it? Racial. Because I know what happens if I say it's racist. So let's just say it's inappropriate and reductive.
I don't think the meme really works because...
Let's just say it's inappropriate and reductive.
Mariachi band singers aren't coming into our country.
Well, that's the whole point.
Right, so they're using that as a stand-in
for all immigrants.
Venezuelan
not even
immigrants.
Exactly. So that's why I think I understand
also
perfectly well why that person
is blocking the bus,
irritated.
but she's supposed to be getting on that bus.
It's
so
stupid.
It's like, getting on? They're getting off the bus. She's getting on the bus.
It's a bus to stupid town.
It doesn't work.
Okay, and they're trying to take us all there.
It doesn't work for me.
And I also think it's very regrettable that we live in a world that might potentially put criminal penalties on somebody for an outburst, the likes of which we used to handle in this country. People would get in bar fights. People handled getting the criminal justice system involved seems like a little bit of a snowflake move, but it's certainly within their legal rights to do so. Fair enough. It is frustrating to me, though, I think, that these kind of events are consistently surfaced as trying to stand in for what exactly? Like, what is the point of this having circulated on the internet? What is this supposed to prove? It draws, I think, a false equivalence between someone kicking over a projector, which is not something that I would endorse, and the use of a meme that is intended to, I would argue, dehumanize and flatten the experiences of human beings that are fleeing persecution in their home countries and wanting asylum. And look, I'm someone who has, to be clear, been the target of a lot of K-Hive abuse. I'm no fan of Kamala Harris's supporters. After the Bernie campaign ended, they photoshopped me wearing McDonald's outfits and in a garbage
collector I saw that one yesterday.
Uniform. I guess the idea
that
being
was
that,
very
like,
mean.
If look, I don't take offense at the idea. If they want to dress me up as an essential worker, I certainly don't think it's shameful to work at McDonald's or to be a sanitation worker. I think it's really telling of their politics, of these alleged liberals and their politics, that they think I would be embarrassed to be depicted in that kind of light. So much for working class heroes. But the reality is that they have been the most vicious people that I've ever encountered on the internet. And unlike the so-called Bernie bros, there has been a open acceptance by Kamala Harris's husband and of many people in the Democratic Party and the Biden administration of the bad actors, explicit embrace of them. I think we have one clip of something a Kamala supporter said about me at one point.
Let's see that.
And let me tell you one damn thing, Bree. You're no friend of black people, because you said in the statement, and I'm gonna put the damn video below this thread. You said in a statement as press secretary for Bernie Sanders' campaign that you believe black people were so stupid that you could just slap any policy, Medicare for all, free college tuition, and just slap the name Black Agenda on it, and black people would just run with it. You know what? You might be black in the skin, but you're a white cracker in the mind, okay?
Ooh.
And just because your is black by skin, just remember this. Ritz may be brown, but it's still a cracker, just like you, Bree.
So
Sassy.
that's like pretty par for the course. We got to give that guy points for creativity, even if not for truthiness. But yeah, like he wasn't someone who I saw ever embraced by the campaign personally, but one of the most common the people who were most profligate in their tweeting has a picture with their arm around Kamala Harris's husband, and they tweet, "Thank you to the K-Hive. We appreciate the K-Hive." Imagine if Bernie Sanders had ever tweeted, "Oh, we love the Bernie Bros. Bernie Bros, keep at it.
Yeah.
Keep." So
I mean, so look, I think it's perfectly fine and appropriate, and in fact good to make fun of politicians. Obviously, we can't. It would be insane to have anyone craft rule like, "Oh, you can't make fun of Kamala Harris." Like people make fun of Donald Trump, including about his appearance, including in insulting ways. So the question, it should be funny, and it should make some good point. My favorite making fun of Kamala Harris meme, which I'm going to put on the screen now. I suspect you'll agree with this one. Have you seen this one before? It's arresting the
100%.
truant kids. Look at the glee in her eyes. Like, this is great because she's
and it's completely fair. Kamala Harris described herself. People are like the guy in the video that you just saw will say things like, "You're smearing Kamala as a cop." No. Kamala Harris referred to herself as California's top cop. If you think it's a smear to be called a cop, then you need to interrogate why you support someone who advances her draconian criminal justice policies, like criminalizing the parents of truant kids instead of maybe taking a look at why it is that their kids aren't getting to school on time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next week on Rising, we're going to look up that guy who attacked Brianna and have him on the show. No, I'm just kidding. We'll probably not do that. Of course, we'll be discussing the latest in politics, but a more important question, Brianna, how are you feeling about the older cast making their debut on House of the Dragon next week?
I cannot wait.
We're so excited.
I'm over some of these kids, I got to say.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the adults to come in.
I thought they did a really good job. I'll miss the young woman playing Rhaenyra, but I'm also excited for what's to come. This is mostly what we talk about on the show before, after, and during taping. It's the actual important stuff. Maybe we'll have a House of the Dragon segment.
We talk about Dungeons and Dragons sometimes.
We talk about that too.
All of your interests, Robbie.
Well, we can talk about your interests too.
You never want to talk about Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm not a Trekkie.
That's the real partisan bias here.
Yeah, I have a nerd void when it comes to Star Trek.
Well, we'll try to fill that. But until then, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any content. And for those of you who like to listen to this pratter while you're on the go, we are now available anywhere you listen to podcasts, and you can catch us on the Plex TV app. Take care. See you next week.
See ya.